What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm re-recording this intro because I finished the entire video and some things just happened, and I'm going to show them to you guys. So, I was showing you guys live on the video I was recording that these slips might be cashing. I was like, I got a couple of them that might cash, and when you guys finish this video, you're going to see these two slips, but they just turned green. So I just throw that out there. I wanted you guys to know these two slips did cash us out. We got this one, our man Bear Bachmeyer. That one should cash. As you guys, it's third quarter right now. BYU's down 3 points. They should throw the ball for 50 more yards, I would think. So that should be 3 cashes, which is another really, really good day. So just want to throw that out there. Make sure you guys stick around to the end to get all these picks. And I'll see y'all in just a minute. All right, guys, so before we do anything, we have to go take a look at our winner from last video. So how I do this in every single video is if we get 250 likes on this video, I will randomly select a comment down in the comments to win a free month of VIP. So if you want a chance at free VIP, leave a like on this video, make sure you're subscribed, and drop a comment, and one of you guys will win if we hit 250 likes on the video. So picking our winner from our last video, which was Fridays, we're going to get MTMIO said, thanks for all your efforts, bro. LFG, LOL. So let's freaking go, man. MTM, send me a message on Discord. I will get you added for that free month of VIP. I appreciate the comment, my man. Appreciate the love from every single one of you guys. For real, it does mean a lot. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some things real quick, and then we'll jump into some of these picks. So obviously, guys, I didn't have a video yesterday. I honestly just decided to take a break, or this morning, whatever, for college football Saturday. I just decided to take a day off. This has been the worst week of free picks that I have given in over a year, for real. It's been one of the worst free pick weeks in a long, long time. I needed a day off. Your boy has been stressing me out a little bit, and I decided just to take a day. So that being said, hoping that Sunday starts us off a really strong week on these free picks. I really like these props, and I'm very confident in them, and I'm just hoping that maybe we can get that sweep going on a Sunday. That'll be a nice start to the week. We are doing something new for VIP. So as you guys know, we have our regular VIP. You guys can get in for $25 a month or $10 a week. We also have our free Discord. The Discord is free. If you're not in the Discord, join. I drop free slips every single Sunday in the Discord. They're Discord exclusives. I will have one for you guys tomorrow, so make sure you guys are in there for that. That being said, if you want to get every single slip that I post, even though it's been a bad week on the free picks, we still cash some slips, obviously, in VIP, and we're going to have another good week starting tomorrow. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Turning over a new leaf on these free pick videos. So if you want to join our VIP, there's a link right here. $10 a week or $25 a month. Now, some of you guys are going to see something called Elite Mentorship. All right, this is something new we're doing. I'm going to have some new section of the Discord. It is going to be more expensive than regular VIP, and what this is going to include is going to include weekly live streams. I'm going to do giveaways every single week, and I'm also going to be doing a like bankroll management mentorships for the one who purchased this. So you guys can ask me. You have your separate chat other than VIP chat. And you guys can ask me any questions you want. We can maybe select. I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do everything just yet, but maybe select one person each week or a couple people each week. We'll break down your bankroll of your unit size live, so all you guys can ask questions, and then we'll try to make as many people as we can, as profitable as we can. That's going to be in our Elite Mentorship, and it's going to be $20 a week or $50 a month. So it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Yes, you don't have to join it. You do not get extra picks for being in that. If you want my VIP plays, they're in the regular VIP. The ones who are currently subscribed to regular VIP, if you do not want to be in this, you do not have to. You are not going to lose anything other than what I just told you guys. You're not losing picks. Everything's going to be posted for regular VIP. Just wanted to throw that out there. That being said, guys, let's talk about some of these games. So, just told you guys I'm going to be at the Cowboys-Panthers game. Going to be going to Charlotte tomorrow, hoping we have a nice experience. The weather's supposed to be a little bit rough. It might be raining. It might not be raining. I'm hoping it doesn't rain. So that being said, you're going to see some plays for Dallas today. I got 2 Cowboys players I got to lock in. I like them a lot. I think this game is going to be pretty high scoring. The total sitting at 48.5. I can see some shootout potential here from 2 bad defenses and decent offenses. I can see Bryce Young having a good game. So that being said, you're going to see some Cowboys plays. If you don't want to play them, just fade them. I'm just throwing it out there. I know a lot of people are going to see my Dallas hat and see me play some Cowboys players, and they're going to get upset about it. But I'm just giving you a fair warning. There's a couple of Dallas plays in this video. Other than that, let's talk about some of these games, guys. So we got the Broncos taking on the Jets in London. So this game's going to be at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a little bit earlier for some of you, for some of the others, but it's going to be an early morning game, man. And Don't know how I feel about these international games. I like them. I'm glad the sport of football is growing and that we're trying to push it into to other cultures and stuff too, and like just to grow the sport in general, because NFL football is definitely one of my top 3 favorite sports. And I love watching it. It's probably my favorite sport to watch other than like boxing and MMA. I do like watching those as well. But this game's tough, man. It's tough to call on these international games because you never know how these like jet lag, things like, you don't know how these players are suffering from the time changes, things like that, man. A lot of them just don't come out playing their full potential. You guys saw the opening game with the Chargers versus the Chiefs. Chiefs got beat by the Chargers, and I don't think very many people saw that happening. We knew it would be competitive, but I think majority of the money was on the Chiefs in that game. This game right here, you got 60% of the money on the Broncos, which means there's 40% of the money on Jets money line plus 330. I personally don't think the Jets win. I'm looking at the Broncos, these two teams. Jets 0-5. They just got absolutely destroyed by the Cowboys, got beat 37-22, another high-scoring game. But the Broncos are a good team, man. Just beat the Eagles 21-17, coming off a couple losses versus the Chargers and Indiana. It was very, very close games. But Broncos looking pretty solid. I think their defense is going to be too much for this Jets offense, and I don't think the Jets are going to be able to stop the Broncos. I think Dobbins is going to have a good game. Dobbins is going to – we'll probably see some Dobbin picks in VIP, but I've actually already dropped a slip with him. But anyways, I think there's going to be some good plays that we can get on the Broncos side of the ball. And on the Jets side of the ball, there's some, I think Breece Hall receptions is probably a pretty good one on the Jets if you get him at 2.5. I do think Breece Hall gets 4 to 5 targets, at least 3 to 4, and I think he catches a few of those. So if you want to take Breece Hall like 2.5 receptions, I don't think that's a bad play. But this game, I'm not going to be taking for the free picks right now, so I'm not going to kind of break it down or anything like that. I'm kind of fading the Chargers versus Dolphins game. I think Miami, honestly, at home could end up beating the Chargers. Chargers 3-2, Dolphins 1-4. Miami's looked a little bit better lately than they did at the start of the season. They don't look like one of the worst teams in the NFL. We can look at them so far. You can see they just lost to Carolina 24-27 in a game they should have won. They gave that game away, in my opinion. They did beat the Jets the game before that, and then there's 3 straight losses, Buffalo, New England, and the Colts, where they literally just looked horrendous. If you look on the other side of things, the Chargers just lost to Washington. They lost to the Giants the week before that. So Chargers looking tough, man. The first 3 games of the season, they looked strong. Thought they were going to be a powerhouse this season, but they've kind of fallen off a little bit. And anything can go in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if either team won. Looking at Dallas Cowboys, I will be taking Cowboys money line at minus 150. You can get it minus 149 right now on Novig. You're probably going to see me put $1,000 on this to win like $600 and something dollars. Probably what's going to happen. If you wanted to play a teaser on this one, if you wanted to take Dallas, you could take Carolina on the teaser too and get them like plus 10.5. You took an 8-point teaser, and that's probably going to be a pretty good game. But Cowboys been playing good, man. They look strong. Last game was a good win for them, and I think they beat the Panthers. I think they beat the Panthers outright. 81% of the money is on Dallas. 62% of the money on the Panthers to cover a 2.5-point spread. I don't agree with this. I think Dallas covers this 2.5 spread. I'll probably end up putting some money on that as well at minus 114, a little bit better value. You might put $400 or $500 on that to win close to $400 again. So probably not going to do too much of a teaser on this one for me. For me, it's either going to be over on the total or it's going to be Cowboys money line or spread on that one, and that's being a Cowboys fan. Maybe I'm biased, who knows. Looking at the Browns versus the Steelers, this is another good game, guys. This one could go either way. I don't want to count the Browns out. Browns obviously just traded over Flacco, so Flacco is no longer going to be a quarterback. We just saw them struggle in their last game, so Gabriel didn't look bad, but he didn't look good either. Maybe Shador has some chances. I don't know if he's going to be in this game. If we look at this, the last game versus Minnesota, they ended up losing 17-21. And then if you look at the Steelers looking strong this season. 3-1, beat Minnesota in their last game on the 28th. Obviously, they had a bye week last week, so they didn't play at all. But I think the Steelers are going to come out here and have a good game. So for me, minus 257, I'd never take the Steelers. I'm definitely not taking the Steelers minus 6.5. If anything, I'd probably buy this up to 7.5 and take Cleveland plus 7.5 and not losing by a touchdown, because I think this is going to be a pretty low-scoring game. Total in this game sitting at 38.5. Wouldn't take the under 38.5 by any means. Anything in the 30s, I'm not going to touch. But if you took a teaser on this one and played, you could take Cleveland plus like 12.5 and then take the over 32.5, and that's probably a pretty good play. Or the under 46.5. Either one of those would be a good play in my eyes if you want to play those. Next game, Patriots versus the Saints. This is a game that I think is honestly going to be more competitive than people think. I think most people are going to think that the Patriots are going to come out here and wax the Saints. And you can see the Patriots right now, 68% of the money on them, 71% of the money on them covering the spread, and the total, we got 59% of the money on the under 45.5. If we take a look at the Saints just coming off a win versus the Giants, their only win this season. Giants just waxed the Eagles, and the Giants look pretty dang strong, so I can't count out the Saints. I'm not saying this game was like, wow, the Saints are a good team by any means. They've literally looked horrendous this season so far. But versus the Patriots, man, you never know. At home, they have a chance. Now, Patriots just beat Buffalo. They just beat Carolina. They lost to the Steelers. They beat Miami. They have three pretty decent, well, Miami and Carolina. Miami game 2, obviously a weak win. That doesn't show anything. Carolina doesn't show anything, but they did beat them 42-13, so that wasn't really the game. That was a complete blowout. They just beat Buffalo, man. They just gave Buffalo the first L, so it's hard to count out the Patriots. If I had to pick a winner on this game, I'm definitely going to take New England. I think New England does cover, but this 3.5, man, 3.5 might be that number. This might be a field goal win, so maybe if you take the Saints plus 3.5, you could. For me, it would be probably taking New England plus 3.5 on a 7-point teaser, and they get the field goal and then take either under or over on a total, or you could just play it with another team, like maybe Cowboys plus something, or whatever team you think is going to win. Just play it with something safe like that. Jacksonville Seahawks, probably going to fade this one. This one's tough. If I had to pick a winner, I'm going to roll with Jags. The Jags have been strong this season. I'm going to keep rolling with them. They just beat the Chiefs. They're at home again versus the Seahawks. I'm rolling with the Jags for plus money. There's nothing's going to change my mind on this one, and you got most of the money on the Seahawks as well, which makes me feel even better about the Jags because you guys know how it goes when a lot of money's on one team. Sometimes the opposite happens. Next game, we got the Rams versus the Ravens. I think the Rams are a very, very good team to target for props. The Ravens' defense has been non-existent. Cooper Rush has not looked good, or did not look good in this first game. Who knows what's going to happen? Derrick Henry struggled this season. Ravens looked horrendous in that last game. So got to roll with the Rams on this one. They're minus 300. Obviously, I would never put money on that. If I had to play a teaser on this one, I'd probably take Rams plus 1.5, or just Rams plus 0.5 or something like that. Pretty much Rams money line, and then take probably over on the total. That's probably what I would end up doing, because I do think the Ravens end up moving the ball a little bit. I do think this could be a pretty high-scoring game. Next game, we got the Colts versus the Cardinals. Looking at this one, the Colts are minus 355 favorites on this game, the 7.5 on the spread, and then the total is sitting at 47.5. I'm running with the Colts all day. The Colts have been a powerhouse this season. Majority of the money on pretty much every single prop is going to be for the Colts. I think Jonathan Taylor has a good game. I think this is a game that you could really target some props, especially on the Colts side of things, because this Cardinals defense has looked pretty weak in the past, and I don't expect it to change anything at home or on the road, versus the Colts. So like that, I'm not going to go through every single one of these games, guys. I do think Green Bay is another good team to target. I think this Tampa Bay versus the 49ers game is another good a good game to target. The total sitting at 47.5. This one could realistically be a shootout. You got 2 4-1 teams. It's hard to call a winner on this one, because to be honest with you guys, Niners looked pretty good last game. I think Christian McCaffrey has a very, very good game in this one, and I think that this game overall is just going to be good for props too. So if you guys want to do your own research and find props for that, you can. Obviously, I told you guys Packers. I think Josh Jacobs has a great game. Detroit versus Kansas City. I'm rolling with Detroit plus money all day. I know I'm kind of going through this kind of quick, guys. It's 11 p.m. Eastern time right now. Your boys got to get up at 5 a.m. So I'm trying to talk about these games to give you guys a little bit of my insight on them, of what I think is going to happen. If you want to do the complete opposite, you go right ahead. I like Lions. I'm running with the Lions. Chiefs haven't shown me much this season. Just beat the just lost to the Jags. They're at home this game. It's not going to be a dog walk or anything for the Lions, in my opinion. But I think the Lions come out here and get them a dub. Other 2 games are on Monday. We got 2 games slate on Monday. That's pretty much all I've got for these games, guys. So, or in terms of money lines, what I'm kind of thinking. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about these player props for this game. So the first player prop that I have, told you guys I like Jonathan Taylor. I think Jonathan Taylor receptions versus Arizona is going to be, it's one of my favorite props on the board right now. You can get him on Prizepicks at 1.5 receptions. If you want to play him higher, you can. You can take receiving yards, you can take touchdown, whatever you want for Jonathan Taylor. But I do think the 1.5 receptions right now for him is a great play. He's catched it every single game this season. He's averaging 3.6 targets per game. If you look at his last 3, he's had 4, 5, and 4 in his last 3 games. Catching 2 of them shouldn't be much of a problem. If you take a look at Arizona's receptions defense, they have one of the worst defenses in the league in terms of receptions allowed to the running back. It's still bottom 6. They give up 5.4 receptions per game on average to the running back. Josh Jacobs getting a lot of targets. Obviously, he should have a strong game. I think they're playing in the league, and I think Jonathan Taylor does get a lot of options here, and I think 2 receptions is going to be pretty easy for him to cash. So we can pull that up real quick. Jonathan Taylor, 1.5 receptions is right there. You can get it on parlay play as well. So Taylor, and I'm on NFL, and I have a lot of slips open, guys, so go ahead and say that right now. Taylor, 1.5 receptions is on here as well. And I'll go ahead and show you my track picks right now, what I got going on. So it's looking like it might be a very, very strong day. I actually had one prop just miss from an injury, and it should have cashed. But we got Stockton. Stockton needs 8 passing yards. That should cash, I believe. Bachmeier has 106. He had 92 in the first quarter, so I don't know. I'm not sure how much time's left in this game. If it's halftime, maybe. But Bachmeier looking a little bit rough with the weather. He hasn't been getting very many pass attempts since the delay. So I don't know what's going to happen with him. And then we got Nussmeier. Nussmeier needs 9 passing yards. That one should be green, so I'm not too worried about that. So these two should be cash. This one should be cash, and the other one should have been cash too. So honestly, it's probably going to be refunded if it hadn't already. But anyways, that's what I'm looking at right now for these college football games. So it could be a very good night. I'm hoping it is. Hopefully all 3 of those do end up cashing. That being said, we got Jonathan Taylor receptions. That's pick number 1 if you guys do want to play it. If you guys don't want to play it, obviously fade it. Take whatever you want, but I think that's a really good play. Who am I going to pair Jonathan Taylor with? So we got a couple options here. One of the options is going to be for Javonte Williams. I like Javonte Williams, the Dallas Cowboy running back, and I like him to give us 17 fantasy. I think this is going to be a great game. He's going to be pretty much the only running back that's getting looks today. You can see Miles Sanders on injury reserve, so they ain't got to worry about Sanders getting touches. Let me find rush yards real quick. So his rush yards is sitting at 74.5. I'm taking him to give us a fantasy. So his fantasy score is going to be 17. Javonte, let's go ahead and pull him up real quick. You can play these together, and I think it's going to be a 2x, yeah, so you can get a double up right here, 150 to win 300. But anyways, Javonte Williams, he's looked good, man. He's averaging 89 rushing yards per game right now. He's going against the Carolina defense that gives up 107 rushing yards per game. I could pull this Cowboys versus Panthers up. You can see rushing yards, 134 rushing yards per game for Dallas, top 10 offense in terms of rushing yards. Going against a defense that's kind of middle of the pack, so 107 yards per game given up by Carolina. And if you go to running backs, they're giving up 92 rushing yards per game just to the running back. So Dak might have a little bit of scrambles. This game, at the bad weather, if it does end up raining, then obviously Javonte Williams is probably going to get even more carries. He's averaging 16 rush attempts per game right now, coming off 20 versus Green Bay and then 16 versus the Jets. They're passing the ball 62% of the time. Javonte Williams is getting 63% of the rush share, and then Miles Sanders is getting 16%. So 63 and 16, that gives you 79%, plus the 10% from Dak, puts you at 89%. So not very many people are getting looks in terms of rushing yards other than Javonte Williams. So Javonte is going to be that guy this game. I think 17 fantasy is going to be a little bit too low. I can see him getting a couple touchdowns. I can see him getting a couple receptions. A couple receptions gives you 15 or 13 fantasy that you'd only need. So because a reception is 1 fantasy each. So you give him 2 or 3 receptions. You can see his goblin is 2.5. You give him 3 receptions, which he's had 5 and 6 in a couple of these games. He should easily get 3 to 4. And then that gives you only need 13, 14 fantasy at max from everything else. And then you add in rushing yards, you add in a possible touchdown, receiving or rushing touchdown. Javonte Williams, one of my favorite plays. Even being a Cowboys fan, obviously you guys know that I might be a little bit biased, but I do like that play a lot. So Javonte, we're going to play him over here on parlay play. Why does it keep going to NFL? All right. Javonte Williams, 17 fantasy. We're going to come over here. We're going to take Jonathan Taylor. I think I'm going to play those together. So Jonathan Taylor at 1.5 receptions. This is going to give us a 2.14x, and I'm going to put $500 on it. So I really like this play. I think it cashes us out. So 500 right there for our man Javonte Williams and Jonathan Taylor, and it is a double up as well over here on Prizepicks if you guys want to play it. So you guys can see that is locked in. I'll come down here and show you. Right there it is, $500. We can refresh, and there it is. Locked in, 1.5 receptions with 17 fantasy. And I'm putting 2 units on it because I really, really like that slip. The next one I like is going to be for our man Brandon Aubrey. I think Brandon Aubrey PATs is going to be a very, very good play. And you have a couple of options here for his PAT. So he has over 2.5 or over 1.5. 1.5 is probably going to be free. I don't see the Panthers holding Dallas to less than 2 touchdowns. They have the 23rd ranked defense in the league in terms of touchdowns allowed. You can come down here. They're giving up right at 24 points per game, and Dallas is scoring 30 points per game, the 4th ranked defense in terms of scoring. So they're going to score as long as the weather doesn't get too bad. The weather is the only thing that worries me on this, but Brandon Aubrey at 1.5 should be a free play. Now, if you want to take Aubrey at 2.5 PATs, that's his original line. I don't think that's bad, but the weather is what scares me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock in Brandon Aubrey right now for PATs, and then tomorrow, when I'm at the game, depending on how close or how the weather looks while I'm out there, how hard the winds blow and things like that, 'cause it's supposed to be like 25 to 30 mile per hour gusts. Depending on that, depends on whether or not I lock in the 2.5 PATs. So I'm going to just do the 1.5 for now. If it's on here, you can't even get it on Prizepick or on Parlay Play. So this is a Prizepicks only slip if you want to lock it in. Who could you run it with? So there is a play that I like. I'm not going to be able to show it over here on Outlier, but this was going to be quarters with 5+ rush yards. So Kyron Williams, and me and the Discord kind of had a little call today. This is a play that I like a lot. So Kyron Williams for 5 rushing yards or more in every single quarter. Kyron Williams is going against Baltimore. We have seen Baltimore's rushing defense, and it has not been good. They have not been able to stop anything. I think Kyron Williams is going to have a good game. I think his rush yards right now sitting at 73.5. He's averaging 73.6 rushing yards per game. Look at Baltimore's rush yards defense. They're giving up 146 rush yards per game and 117 to the running back. So they're giving up a ton. You give Kyron Williams 16 rush attempts per game on average. They're probably going to be, I think they win, to be honest with you. So I don't think this is going to be a super competitive game. I think that the Rams do end up leading the game majority of the time. Now this could end up being a shootout and be very, very close. Who knows what Cooper Rush does in this game, or Derrick Henry for that matter. But that being said, I think Kyron Williams gives us 5 rushing yards in each quarter. So if you want to play that, you can. If you want to fade this one, this is honestly, I think the second time I've ever played a 3.5 quarters play. Like, I usually fade those. But I'm going to give it a chance on this one because I like this Kyron Williams play. So that's what I got for the free picks, guys. You can lock them in if you like them, fade them if you don't. I guess you guys saw this bonus slip. I'm just going to throw it out there. Christian McCaffrey was on it at 21.5 fantasy with Dobbins. If you guys saw that, you can lock it in if you want. If you want to fade it, you're more than welcome to fade it as well. But that's what I got for today. Hope you guys cash every slip. Make sure you guys leave a like and a comment on this video for a chance at free VIP. Hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's video.